Hi, welcome to Voronoi Modeling Techniques. In Chapter 1, we're going to start off by discussing what Voronoi is referring to and look at some examples from nature, industrial design, and film. And we'll create a platonic, reduce it to mesh with a good selection, and the bevel tool, it'll enable us to make a nice consistent lattice. A cloth surface object and a little bit of subdivision, and voila! We got an organic buckyball, and for fun, we'll place it in a cloner with some rotation randomness to get a deep cryptic structure. In Chapter 2, we're going to cover Voronoi modeling techniques using just a basic screen. Next, we'll go through the basic workflow to turn regular screen patterns into organic Voronoi patterns. Starting with a plane, we added displace and polygon reduction objects, adjusting both to get the desired mesh density and flow we like. Collapse it to mesh and create an edge selection. Parent it to a subdivision object, and once again, collapse to mesh. And when you go into edge level, you should see your original selection. Dissolve these edges, which leaves you with a sweet, bubbly mesh layout. Using the bevel tool, we turn our edges into interconnected strips. In polygon mode, delete the inside polygons. With one of our previously unmodified planes, we'll select the outer ring of polygons and delete the inner. Then we combine this with our Voronoi mesh, adding a cloth surface and a subdivision object. Now we can see our organic structures really come together. In Chapter 3, in this example, we'll continue exploring this technique with a little bit more of a complex shape. We'll put a sphere in a cloner, then make this cloner a child of a metal ball object. And then we adjust all three to make a bloopy sort of shape. After collapsing to mesh, add a polygon reduction object and adjust the mesh density to taste. Collapse to mesh and add a subdivision object and then collapse again. In edge mode, dissolve our original edge selection. Now select the remaining edges and use the bevel tool. Then in poly mode, delete the remaining holes. With the addition of a cloth surface and subdivision object, we can see our Voronoi structure coming through. In Chapter 4, we will be creating a form-fitting clothing asset, a corset. From the content browser, we bring in a female figure, delete the superfluous objects like subdivision, eyes, teeth, that kind of stuff. In polygon mode, we'll make a corset-shaped selection. Using the split tool, we create a duplicate of our selection. After hiding the body, we'll add a polygon reduction object to our corset. Now adjust the reduction level to fine-tune the flow of our mesh. And then we collapse to mesh, add another subdivision object, and collapse again. After dissolving our unneeded edges, we edit our remaining edges with the bevel tool. We delete the holes, and then with the polygon pen, we build our upper and lower trim. With the addition of a cloth surface and subdivision object, we have a form-fitting custom clothing or jewelry asset for either rendering or even 3D printing. And in our last chapter, Chapter 5, we'll build a bracelet for 3D printing. Let's start with a small hex ring and an ellipse. Add the hex to a cloner and fill the area of the ellipse by adjusting the handles. Then we create our trim using the ellipse. After combining our two elements, bridge them together with the polygon pen. Once we have a continuous mesh, we add a cloth surface and subdivision object, and then using our same ellipse but on a different plane, we use a cloth wrap object to deform it into a nice bracelet shape. And then finally, we have our model, which is ready for 3D printing. Well, I hope this is something that can help you out, and come join us.